Time now to check out VB at our Beacon Hill studio. What's going on, VB?
The Senate President, Therese Murray, walking by. No turkey on her head this time. We got a turkey on her head in Plymouth. All right, time to be joined by three people here that you don't want to smell ever, especially in August. September, we smell a little better. Cosmo Macero of O'Neill Associates, man who went to Stone Temple Pilots last night. Like to hear that.
Good show.
Peter Cadges, formerly of the Boston Phoenix, a man who just talked Cosmo Macero out of a parking ticket.
Thank you.
You better be buying breakfast.
What have you done lately to save me $55?
I was working on a mic check. Peter just saved you.
Hey, maybe I should be in the State Department.
I don't believe in lawlessness. When you park illegally, you should get ticketed. I'm going to have a word with that meter maid later. In the meantime, let's start with Syria, kids, and Putin in particular, because who knew who was going to save the day here? It turns out it's Vladimir Putin. Obama's #1 enemy is now his #1 friend.
Did no one in the State Department think, I guess I didn't either, but did no one in the State Department think to ask, hey, how about just giving us those chemical weapons? And sure enough,
do you think Assad was going to do that?
There's the answer. No. Look, I said before the president would look bad if Congress didn't support him. They didn't. I thought for sure they would. They didn't. And here's where we end up with Vladimir Putin saving the day.
He's totally coming in at the 11th hour and saving them.
Well, it's sort of a Joe Biden moment. I mean, Secretary of State John Kerry sort of bumbles us into it by bringing up the issue of maybe they'll give him back.
And he ripped his own policy in saying that, but now they get to take credit for it.
But let's not count the chickens before they're hatched. Let's actually see how this turns out. It also goes to show you that I've always thought that this was less about Syria and more about Russia and Iran, which are Syria's enablers.
Isn't this more about Putin just letting the world know who's the man, and in particular letting Obama know that he's back?
Talk about the noogie right to the forehead.
Yeah.
And
ironically, the president has to sit there and say thank you for the noogie because I wasn't going to be able to get my way out of this.
And it sounds quick and easy now, but what's the months or years-long process?
And does anybody believe they're really going to...
Of administrating and processing the removal of major chemical weapons from a foreign nation? It's, you know...
On the other hand, let's talk about the president, because he had a speech in his hand that he was going to deliver to the nation tonight, trying to sell us on military force. No, he doesn't have to sell us in military force. It begs the question, why is he even speaking tonight?
Well, he has to say something. I mean, this isn't over yet. I mean, I guess he'll draw yet another line in the sand. I have to say, people who watch the show regularly know that I'm more than willing to give Obama the benefit of the doubt. He's bungled this issue right from the start. I don't know what he's going to say tonight.
Here's what he should say. You know
those
those Joe Kennedy ads where he says, my good friend Hugo Chavez? You might want to throw in my good friend Vladimir Putin right off the top.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, talk about tearing up the script. The script writers are going to be working, the speech writers are going to be working overtime today, figuring out how to message this and manage this, because you have to acknowledge Putin, and you have to acknowledge in some way that, yes, this was also a solution that within the State Department we were working through ourselves, which he's kind of already done.
That'll be a tougher sell.
Well, you know, the sort of takeaway here is, just a few weeks ago, everyone thought politics in Massachusetts was all set. Markey would be reelected. There's no issues to roil the sea. But it shows you how volatile the world we live in is.
I don't think there's any question about that, which takes us to New York, because today New Yorkers go to the polls, and there's a couple of names on those ballots, Elliot Spitzer and Anthony Weiner. It looks like we're not going to have Weiner to kick around much anymore, Cosmo. You want one last shot at it, or do you want to say a eulogy?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have at least one or two more news cycles, a couple more daily news and post headlines to laugh at, and a few more days or weeks of all his very bad decision making with his Twitter profile.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll still be a married man in 18 months. I'll just leave it at that. I think his wife was a good friend by standing by him during all this. I wonder how much more she can take. I give it 18 months.
I wonder if he takes to Twitter and not to give his concession, or if his Twitter account just goes limp at this point.
You know what? Hopefully Weiner just straightens himself out.
Cosmo Macero of O'Neill Associates, Peter Cadges, formerly of the Phoenix. They are the heavy hitters. Gene, we're going to stop the Anthony Weiner puns right there.
Yes, probably a good idea.